For my life, can't say that, girl. Don't tell me you could say that shit. All she want is payback for the way I always play that shit. You ain't getting.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So this is another entry into my countdown series that I plan to continue more and more as time goes on. I'm trying something a bit new in this video, and when I was rewatching my top 10 hardest dungeons, I realized that my scripted voice sounds really robot-y, so I want to try to shift away from that. So with that being said, in this video I want to go only scripting the intro and conclusion part like right now, and the rest will be in like flashcards or bullet points of my actual entries, so it seems like more human. Anyways, with that all out of the way, this video will be about the top 5 easiest dungeons in MineZ. I have a few rules about this. So we're gonna do no remove dungeons. So dungeons like Warp Ruins, Darnies, or Mantle aren't gonna be put on the list. And also no mini dungeons. So no Karmi Sewers or Thieves Guild. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with number 5. So number 5 is Flooded Tunnels. Flooded Tunnels is much more in the mid-map area, not too south, but it's not too far north. It has no reliable gearing town next to it, so you're pretty much rushing here from Grimdale most likely, or Pravis. The closest town you have is Lost Castle for military loot, or Logging Camp for food. So when you enter the dungeon, it's pretty much the maze when you're going through it. There's a drowning part a little farther into it after a decently hard jump. It's not too hard. No penalty for losing it. You don't need potions to get through this. It's nothing like Dungeon Library. You can even bring one splash one and you'll be fine. After that, you're going to have a really annoying tunnel part, and this is going to be a little theme. It's just sort of you running through a tunnel for like 2 minutes. After that little tunnel part, you're going to come across a little ravine part. You push 5 buttons, or 3 buttons, and you do some parkour. The parkour is pretty difficult, but it's easily practicable, and it recently got nerfed, so there's no more, I think it was Void Water, Void Lava. Now it's Wither Water, so it's a lot more forgiving. It's still punishable if you fail, but nothing like before. After that, you're pretty much just going to be running through another tunnel with pressure plates that can give you instant damage 2s. And after that, you're going to be done with the dungeon. You're going to get a very situational legendary called the Venom Bow. And all in all, it's a pretty easy dungeon. It's a great dungeon when you're ready to move on to harder parkour-esque dungeons. Alright, and now we're moving on to our number 4 entry, Invalia Mines. So this is one of the most southern dungeons in the game, and it's actually in a town with decent military chests, even with a mill rare, and some food chests too. You can easily gear for this dungeon by running the mini dungeon Karmi Sewers, or you can just loot up and get a stone axe, which is all you need for this dungeon. So the first part I call a pot drainer. It's pretty common in dungeons. You just go down a part, and as long as you have potions, you're going to be fine. After that, you're going to have some lava parkour and a maze, and then some more lava parkour. So all the parkour up until that point is all lava, but after that, you're going to have a little more parkour with pigment spawners, and there's going to be a few hard jumps there, but once you get down, it's not too bad. After that, you're going to do a wave room with 5 waves with zombies. I think it's like 15 zombies. You just bring 2 stone axes and you cleared it, and you got a pretty bad legendary. It's the Binding Bow. So yeah, overall this is a pretty easy dungeon. Has only like 2 or 3 hard jumps. It's pretty practicable, and it's really easy to run up and gear up again if you fail. And if you fall in the snow in the pigment part, you can easily bring a snowball, and that just alleviates any pressure. The third easiest dungeon in my opinion is going to be MineZ the 10th, and this can be a little controversial because the first part is pretty difficult. But this dungeon is a pretty south dungeon. It's right next to one of the best food areas down south, which is Concilio University. The only gear you need for this dungeon is food and possibly a snowball if you really need it for the first part. So first of all, I really recommend doing this dungeon solo. If you're doing it duos or trios, you're going to have zombies and pigmen spawning in front of the person in front, and it's just going to hit you from the back. Like, and the back person is going to be hit by the zombies. So it's much easier to do this solo. The first part though, you pretty much go down this giant circle cavern. You have to do some paths across tree branches and stuff like that. All pretty easy as long as you sprint, and if there's pigmen on you, just throw a ball. You jump down into the very bottom, get some water, and you push a button, and that brings you into the maze. As long as you know where the coordinates are for the exit, which I'm putting on screen right now, you will beat this dungeon. It's not too hard. When you beat this though, you get one of the best legendaries in the game, if not the best legendary, the Lone Sword, especially after the Vampire nerfs. So it's a pretty easy dungeon though. It requires very little knowledge to beat, only the coordinates. You don't really need a map. The maps are all outdated anyways. So yeah, let's move on to number 2. Alright, for number 2, Conagur's Abandoned Mineshaft. Conagur's is a mid-map dungeon. It's actually in the underground areas. It's right next to my personal favorite food gearing place, Cyrus. And you need no gear for this dungeon, like none. You can go in with nothing, naked if you need to. The first part, you do a jump over water. The vines, all easy. There's only one jump that can kill you. It's a 3 block over lava. As long as you get that, you beat the dungeon. I don't have to go through the rest of this, but because it's all super simple to figure out. Just avoid plates. At the very end though, you get a iron helmet. It's really free if you just need an iron helmet before you go up north or something. It's not a bad dungeon to go run. Yeah, there's only one jump that really can kill you. There's not much to say about this dungeon. It's all really, really, really easy. And I'll see you guys number 1. Alright, and I'm sure you guys saw this coming. The number 1 easiest dungeon, Red Demon Temple. So I'm sure you guys all saw this coming. Again, this dungeon is notorious for being easy. This dungeon is pretty far up north, nothing like floating islands, but it's near Pylus, which is a good food place, and you need no gear, like none. You can go in here with no armor, even no food if you really wanted to, in a water bottle, and you'll be fine. Nothing can kill you in this dungeon except for natural spawns and you falling off into lava, which you really cannot do. It's just pushing blocks. It's sort of like Legend of Zelda. So you just push blocks into certain paths and you make bridges and you do 3 puzzles and it's really easy. It drops a pretty controversial PvP legendary called the Gamble. And yeah, there's nothing in this dungeon that has risk whatsoever. And it's kind of fun to do. Really want to give huge thanks to Pichu. He's the guy who does the command blocks in MineZ. He actually did some pretty cool stuff in this dungeon. It's just a shame that it's so easy. Alright guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I tried something new with this. If you like the more casual approach to things, then please tell me. I would love to do more videos like this. It's a lot more stressful, a lot less stressful for me. I'm sorry. If you guys haven't joined my Discord yet, please go join it. I want to do more runs with new players. Even dungeons on this list, I would be more than happy to carry some players through and teach them how to do it. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next video.